It's gonna be a little more general, a little more vague, not some of the specifics and not some of the drill downs of it, because that might confuse you. I just wanna give you a general overview of how to fix your credit. Hi, Sagapi here, Liberty Home Mortgage. You know what we'll talk about today? How do you fix your credit? So you're sitting here right now saying, Hesh, I just got declined for financing. My credit score is too low. What do I have to do? I say this all the time to people. Step one of fixing your credit is get your hands on your credit. You cannot fix something that you cannot see, okay? You've got to get your hands on your credit. Now, there's a lot of people out there that they're afraid to look at their credit. It's almost like they're terrified to see what the truth is. We're all adults. I mean, if you're looking at your credit at this point of your life, you're at least 18 years old. If you're at least 18 years old, deal with it, for God's sakes. There's a lot scarier things in life that are gonna happen over an 80-year-old's lifetime than looking at some bad marks on their credit report. Step two is, what do I do to get my hands on my credit? There's 4 websites I tell people to go to. Start with the first 3, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. Start there. All 3 credit bureaus offer, if you pay some money. Now, when you're sitting here watching, Hesh, I don't wanna pay. You don't wanna pay, but you paid for the DoorDash for Starbucks to your house today. Let's rethink that statement. Because that's another thing too, by the way, but I'm probably jumping ahead a little bit. Ultimately, go to one of the 3 credit bureau websites, Equifax, TransUnion, or Experian, or number 4, myfico.com, MYFICO, myfico.com. That's the website of the Fair Isaac Corporation. Go to that website and get copies of all 3 credit reports. And I hate to tell you this, you might have to pay a little bit of money, but you wanna know something? When you don't pay anything, you don't get nothing. And when you pay something, it holds you more accountable and you're more likely to work on it and deal with it. So pay it, okay? It costs less than your DoorDash does, your Uber Eats, and a lot of other things. Get copies of all 3 bureaus. Step 3, pull up all 3 credit bureaus. Keep in mind, Credit Karma. Like, Hesh, I got Credit Karma. Okay, good. That shows you 2. Doesn't show you all 3. If you want to fix something, you've got to see the full picture, not 2/3 of the picture. So Credit Karma's good. I always say this about Credit Karma. If you have no other choices and your alternative is nothing, okay, then Credit Karma is the greatest thing on the planet. But if you're actually educating yourself on this and you want to take a legitimate shot at doing this the right way, go to one of the 3 credit bureaus, go to MyFICO, pay some money, pull up all 3. After you pull up all 3, I'm telling you to do this right now. Print them out. There's certain things, I could tell you this one. I'm the king of analogies. I give 1,000 analogies all day long. Running, back in the 1950s and 60s, was looked at as a healthy exercise. That was like 75 years ago. 60 to 70 years later, modern science has not found that running is not healthy, okay? Running's healthy, you wanna do it. Now, printing out copies of all 3 credit bureaus onto sheets of paper and putting it in front of you, that's what you wanna do. Don't tell me, Hesh, I'm gonna do all this off of my phone. This is different, okay? Print the damn things out onto paper. Now, if you're saying, Hesh, I don't have a printer, good, find one. Go to your employer, go to where you work, go to your friend's house, call your friends, post it on social media, for God's sakes. Do I have a human being out there that can help me out and do something for me? Go to your local public library, okay? Hell, go to where you went to high school at and go find your old school teachers who are gonna be tickled that you're coming back to say hello and tell them you gotta print something out. Print out all 3 copies of your credit, put them on a desk in front of your face, whip out a pen or pencil, whip it out, and a highlighter, take the printout, highlight all of the collections, highlight all collections and negative items. Highlight the dollar figures. You wanna start paying off debt, okay? Start at the smallest debt. I've had people say, Hesh, I'm gonna start at the highest interest rate. No, start at the smallest debt. When you actually start paying things off, there's a sense of accomplishment that's gonna pour over you and cascade over your body, and you're gonna say, oh my God, I'm on a roll, this is incredible. Start with the smallest debts, okay? Start with the smallest and start paying them off. Another step, come up with a budget by which you make a commitment, and I use that word in a lot of videos. You make a commitment to start to allocating a certain portion of your money to paying off certain amounts of debt. This is what you must do, okay? You've got to do this. You absolutely have to do this. How do you fix your credit? Simple. You start by getting copies of your credit. Where do you get copies? Go to the 3 credit bureaus, go to myfico.com. What do you do at that point? You print out all copies of your credit. What do you do at that point? You highlight everything that's negative, all the negative debt. What do you do next? You start paying that debt off to get rid of it. What's another step? And I'll probably finish the video on this one. Another step is open up credit and start establishing credit. That doesn't mean you go buy a car with a $700 payment. That means you open up a secured credit card. There's a great website I tell people to go to, creditcards.com. It'll show you every credit card on the planet Earth. Okay, you want a secured credit card? Credit card companies like Capital One, Discover, MasterCard, Visa. There's a lot of credit card companies that give what are called secured credit cards. A secured credit card is typically the credit card that somebody who does not have great credit, that's the credit card they get. Get a secured credit card with a $300 limit, use it at the gas station and the grocery store, and then immediately pay it off. Like immediately pay it off. Do not carry balances on your credit cards. Don't carry balances. You want to open up credit and begin to establish credit and start establishing a positive payment history, which reminds me, my last bit of advice for you, set up every single account in your life on auto pay. Every single account you have, set it up on auto pay. And if you have student loans, set it up on auto pay and set it up to debit the minimum amount due. When you set things up on auto pay, you're not going to forget about making the payment. I've seen it 1,000 times on people's report. These are the steps to fixing your credit. I'm not a credit expert. I'm not a credit repair specialist. It's not what I do, but I will tell you in my job for over almost 25 years, it's what I've lived in, and these steps absolutely work. If you're serious and you want to make the commitment, follow this video, look up my other videos, but to look those videos up, you got to subscribe to my page and share this. Put all your comments down there if you have questions or anything like that, and I'll be seeing you on the next video.